My mom hid her wealth from us until the funeral. My whole life growing up, my mom was careful, not flashy, never bragged about money or what she had. She worked 2 jobs for most of my childhood and made sure we never felt deprived, but also never let us splurge on anything she didn't consider essential. Vacations were rare. Dinners out were special occasions and gifts were thoughtful but small. We always assumed she was just frugal, maybe a little stubborn with finances. We joked about it sometimes at the dinner table about how penny-wise she was, how she clipped coupons like a professional. Then she got sick and the world slowed down in a way that made everything seem heavier. She passed quietly at home surrounded by family. The days after were a blur. Funeral arrangements, condolences, flowers, people showing up with stories of her kindness. That's when it hit. We were sitting in her lawyer's office going over the will and instructions for her estate, and I remember thinking it was going to be straightforward, just debts paid, final wishes distributed to siblings, and then we saw the numbers. My mom had secretly built a fortune we never knew existed, not a little nest egg. Either she had investments, properties, savings, accounts, stocks she had owned for decades that we never once heard about. The amounts were staggering enough to make all the assumptions we had about her life feel like a lie. We were shocked, confused, amazed, and honestly, a little guilty for never noticing. But she wasn't careless about it. She left instructions meticulous. Clear as if she had anticipated our shock, she made sure we understood why she hid it from us. She wrote letters. She had money set aside for each of us with notes about her hopes and advice for the future. She never wanted us to rely on wealth or let it change who we were. She wanted us to earn our own way, but also wanted to give us freedom once she was gone. The revelation was surreal. We spent that day reading her notes, laughing, crying at her words, trying to piece together how the woman we thought we knew had lived such a different life behind the scenes. What struck me the most was that this was so characteristically her. She did not want attention. She did not want to be idolized or judged. She just wanted to live life quietly and do what she could for the people she loved. I think about it still sometimes how the woman we knew as frugal and quiet actually carried decades of wealth in silence, and how it makes me realize you never really know all of someone's story until it's too late to ask. And in the end, maybe that was her final lesson for us to appreciate the surprise of life, the hidden layers of people we love, and the fact that true generosity doesn't always announce itself. It just exists quietly until it can't anymore.